Your man keep telling you, nah, babe, you look fine just like that. Nigga lying. Go get your fat out in the gym. You just don't want nobody talking to you. You letting that nigga manipulate you. You're big. Go get your big ass.
Man leaves his woman because her BBL stinks. In the story she tells, I may be behind, but we still gonna react to it. And then we got Terrence Howard talking about how people be giving it up to go to Diddy's party, and then they get mad whenever they can't get their career. And he does break down some deep stuff that you may want to stick around and listen to if you plan on going to Hollywood. I may be behind on these stories a little bit, but we still gonna break them down. Stick in there and hear what I gotta say, all right? But before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button. Definitely share the video. This is your first time watching. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it.
So this is part 2 on why I had to get my BBL surgically removed. So in part 1, I was telling y'all how my sit-down ear was stinking real bad. And it got to the point to where I had to carry around a bottle of air freshener or a bottle of perfume, because when I would use public restrooms, it would stink so bad and the smell would linger. It was like an embarrassment. I didn't want to come out the bathroom with it smelling like that and someone else was waiting at the door. When I say that BBL really ruined my life, I even lost my boyfriend behind it. He was telling me the whole time, like, you're stinking real bad down there and I can't stomach it. First I'm in denial, like, no, you're hating, you're mad, I got a BBL. It was the truth. It got to the point to where I would be washing my laundry, weekly, like I've been doing before I got the BBL. When I would get my laundry out of the dryer, it would still smell like that rat eating flesh.
I feel sorry for the man because he was probably happy she got the BBL, his imagination going off, he thinking he got a dime piece, and then all of a sudden it smells. That ruins the moment.
I really was like, so this one day, me and my boyfriend, we getting ready, to do something. Part 3 on how I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit-down one was stinking real bad. So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now.
So you turn right back around and make a part 2, put it out there for people to comment all over again. Come on now, let's make it make sense. You should have just left it up because you're signing up for the critics all over again. You can't contradict yourself.
So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real.
That's the first thing people are going to think because your booty is bigger. So they're saying, how do you wipe all that booty? That's what I'll be thinking when I be seeing women that got like cartoon looking bodies. They're like, yo, how do you clean all that at one time? Your arm, your fingers can only reach in so many places.
It's coming out of the incision. It stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay?
Question is, did the doctor tell you before you got it and you decide to get it anyway? Who's gonna be the real fool here?
Now, my BBL been removed for the past 4 years. Only had it in for about a year until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more. I don't know if y'all wanted me to get on here and say BBL smell good, but they stink.
You only had it a year and it malfunctioned. I guarantee you, she got the homeboy hookup and just went to one of those hotel parties where they charge 1/4 of the price.
Stay away from them. So first, let me say, my boyfriend at the time did not want me to get the procedure done, but I insisted. Me and my sister went to get the procedure done together. And before I got the procedure done, I joined a group on Facebook. It was like a support group. Different women that got it, that's in relationships, just for, to talk about it. So a lot of women in the group was pretty much saying, when you get it, your boyfriend is going to be jealous, so just keep it out on that.
So they kept telling her, your boyfriend's gonna be jealous. She's setting it up for a breakup because they ain't got no man. Everybody in the group ain't got no man. That's why they in the group. They see her with a man. They setting her up like, listen here, when you get it, you might as well cut him off. And that's all she thinking about.
So when he was telling me it was smelly down there, I was going to the group saying, he's saying it's smelly down there. They was basically telling me to ignore him. He's jealous, but he'll eventually come around.
And this is exactly why we say single women keep other women single. Even if they got a man, they will break you up with your man. Now, one of those girls have warned them that it was going to stink because misery loves company.
So me and my sister got the procedure done at the same time. So at first, mans was healing up good. It was healing normal. So was my sister's. And I would ask her, is you healing well? She would tell me, yeah. I was healing well maybe the first 6 to 7 weeks. But after that, it kept on leaking and kept on draining. I was asking my sister how hers was doing. She said she was not leaking or draining. Mines would close up, but then like a day or two later, it would start leaking again.
She definitely got the cheap procedure. They didn't even stick around and sew her all the way up.
So I used to put gauze and dressings on it to support the leakage while I may have been outside or out and about. So that's why I had it for a year with the leakage, because there would be points that it would close up, or I would think it was closed up fully, but it wasn't.
So you mean to tell me that this actually started right after the surgery and just never completely healed under a year? Oh, man.
So one day, me and my boyfriend was about to do something, and he just was like, I cannot take the smell anymore. And he broke up with me, and he left. And that was pretty much that. But he was telling me for months. But me listening to the women in a group, thinking they knew what they was talking about, it kind of messed everything up for me. It even got to the point I was wearing jeans in the summertime because it was an embarrassment even looking at it. I'm going to upload the picture right.
This is why men are walking away from women that are getting BBLs and women that got BBLs. Goal is to make every girl get a BBL and become single. At least that's what it looks like. Get in the comments and tell me exactly. Do you still like women with BBLs? But we're about to go into the next story, which is going to be Terrence Howard talking about him and the Diddy after party and what happens to men in Hollywood that goes to those parties. I may be late to this one, but stick around and hear what I got to say.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head.
Because they don't know what's happening when it's happening. So they thinking this is normal, this is cool, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be famous. But after they go through the motions, whoever they give the cheeks up to always want the cheeks. You don't give up the cheeks, they start messing with your career. That is the price of fame. Some know how to play the game. Those who come in vulnerable get sucked in before they can get taught the game. That's what happened with Bieber.
They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
Because everybody they're celebrating it with are the ones that are hurting them. They're the ones that are taking advantage of them. And when they stop and look around the room, they're like, hold up. I had to give myself to all of these people in order to get this award. And the award really don't mean anything because you could still lose your job. Your career could still end if you don't play ball like you've been playing.
If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the
Hell
consequences
yeah.
when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking.
I would have been suspicious at that moment too, because both of you are busy. And if there is nothing to be done and that air is kind of dry, there's that quiet space there, you're wondering what's next. That's when I would have been like, all right, bro, I'm starting to understand what everybody else talking about. I'm surprised he didn't see it.
I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to feel. That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
From what I heard with people in the industry, I know some people, they say a lot of these people sign up to go to these parties. And then when they get in those parties and then they don't get the money that they want, they don't get the acting roles they want, that's when they want to play victim. Because most of the people that get there lose their mind. It's the same thing with women. They know what's happening, but then they get to play dumb and pick and choose when they want to be a victim or be the aggressor. I could be wrong though. Get in the comments and talk to me and let me know. What do you think is happening in Hollywood? And if you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Definitely share the video. This is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button. See you on the next video, and go in the description to watch more of my old good videos.